Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, let's dive right into this. We're going to tackle a really big question today. How do these two incredibly powerful ways of understanding our reality, science and Buddhism, actually relate to each other?
So this is the central question, isn't it? And it's a great one. To really get to the heart of it, we first need to figure out what each of these systems is actually trying to do. They might not even be aiming for the same target.
So to see where they connect, or maybe where they don't, we've got to start with their fundamental goals. What is science really trying to do? And on the other hand, what is Buddhism trying to achieve?
Let's start with science. The whole goal of science is to observe, to explore, and to understand the external, material world around us. Just think about it for a second. From the tiniest quarks and atoms, all the way up to planets, dark matter, and all the technology that runs our lives, science is always looking outward. Now, in complete contrast, Buddhism turns its focus around. It goes inward. It's all about exploring the world that exists inside of you, your mind, your consciousness, your perceptions. And its goal isn't just to observe this inner world, but to actively make your inner self, well, better.
So you can see this fundamental split right here. Science is on this quest to understand how the external universe works. Buddhism, on the other hand, is on a quest to improve how you work internally. One looks outward, the other looks inward. It's that simple.
Okay, so if they're focused on two completely different worlds, what happens when you try to use the tools of one to explain the other? Yeah, this is where things can get kinda confusing.
This quote from our source material just captures the problem perfectly. Trying to prove Buddhism with science is like, trying to measure temperature with a ruler or trying to measure weight with a stopwatch. You're just using the wrong tool for the job because they operate in completely opposite directions.
And here's why that is. You can't fully explain what's happening inside of you just through science alone. There are these aspects of our consciousness, of our inner experience that just aren't measurable in a lab. They go way beyond what scientific experiments are even designed to capture.
Now, this doesn't mean either system has failed. Not at all. It just means they are different tools for different jobs. You wouldn't use a hammer to bake a cake, right? And what we're seeing here is that science and Buddhism simply have their own different, very necessary purposes.
But does this difference mean we have to choose between them? Absolutely not. In fact, you could argue that to live a truly full life, we really need both.
Some people might say, forget science, we only need spirituality. But just stop and think about that for a second. Without all the advancements from science, the technology we use every single day, the very tools that connect us and let us share these ideas, they just wouldn't exist. Science is undeniably powerful at shaping our external lives. It gives us pretty much everything, from the comfort of our homes to the satellites that help us understand the cosmos. It literally builds the physical world that we all live in.
And here's the other side of that coin. While science is busy building the outer world, Buddhism provides the tools we need to build our inner one. It offers a path to becoming calmer, kinder, more compassionate. Cultivating all those values that no scientific formula could ever give us.
This brings us to a really key insight. Science alone can't teach us how to be compassionate, and spirituality alone can't build the infrastructure of our modern world. So, to be complete human beings, it seems pretty clear we need to develop both our outer and our inner selves. So, the big question is, how do we use these two powerful systems together without, as our source says, messing them up? Well, there is a way to find a healthy balance.
The path forward then seems to be this balanced three-step approach. First, step one, appreciate science for what it is, a powerful tool for the external world. Second, step two, approach Buddhism on its own terms without trying to jam a scientific lens on it. And finally, step three, bring them together in your life, letting each one fulfill its own unique and vital purpose.
When you find this balance, you're really on a path to developing a complete life. It's a life that is both materially supported by all the amazing things science gives us, and at the same time internally fulfilled by cultivating that inner peace and wisdom.
And that really leaves us with the final takeaway. This isn't about choosing a side in some big science versus Buddhism debate. The real question is a personal one for you. How can you, in your own life, nurture both parts of your human experience? How will you build both your outer world and your inner world?